Let us discuss simple except for example. How do we locate GUI elements in a web page? How do we locate GUI elements? Suppose you are planning to write code for this elements, username, password, and login button, right? You want to write code for these elements. How Selenium will search these elements? See, we are not going to automate, remember. We are not going to test. We are asking Selenium to test it. So, how Selenium tool will find these elements? So, there are two methods where Selenium will search elements in a web page. One is called find element method and one is called find elements method. Singular, plural. Look at that. Find element and find elements. Two methods we have. So, when do we use find element method? Means whenever you want to access any single element in the web page. Means whenever Selenium want to search for single element in a web page, then we go for find element. It returns the object of first matching element of specified locator. It will search. Selenium will go on searching that element with the defined properties and locators. It throws no such element exception when it fails to identify the element. Okay, it will throw an exception if element is not found, or if element is not found in the web page when it's searching, it will be throwing an exception. Remember that, no such element exception. If you get this kind of exceptions in your console tab, you need to understand that whatever you're searching element in that web page, Selenium is unable to identify that. Okay, so we can locate, see yesterday, driver object we are defining, driver object plus with help of that method and locators, I'll tell you what locators we have. So among these two, find element and find elements, which will be commonly used method, you know guys? Which method we go on using commonly? Find element or find elements?
Elements.
Find elements. You want to go with find elements, huh? Regular usage. Regular usage will be find element or find element? Then what is find elements? What is the meaning of find element? What is the purpose of this method? What Selenium will do?
More than one, multiple elements. If there are multiple elements, like a username, password, and some other boxes.
Okay. That's what, see, singular, plural, so that you are saying find elements means multiple elements. Find element means single element. Remember, find elements method is used for searching collection of elements in a web page, not multiple element. Collection of elements in a web page. Collection. What collection? Suppose, say for example, I want to count number of hyperlinks in this web page. Hyperlinks. Hyperlinks. That hyperlinks. Links are nothing but common collection. I want to count number of text boxes in this web page. So whenever you want to go with a collection of elements, then you have to take help of the method called find elements method. Remember, it is not for multiple elements. First of all, we don't use it frequently as usage is very limited. 99% we go on writing individual element here. Always we use find element method only. We go on writing for individual element one by one. Okay. Right? So regular usage will be find element, and this find elements method is for what? This find elements is for collection. Whenever you want to get collection, then I'll show you all. It gives back the whole list of elements matching the specified locator. If element does not exist, not available in the web page, then returns value will be empty list. Suppose you're asking to find out number of text box in a web page, but Selenium doesn't find that element, that collection, assume that. It returns empty list, that's it. But here, whenever Selenium is unable to identify your element in a web page with your given properties and values, then it throws no such element exception. Remember that. Whenever you get no such element exception, you have to understand that Selenium failed to find that element that web page. How? Practically we will see. Every day we go on using these methods. Okay, remember again, I repeat. Find element method is used for what here? is used for finding single element. Single element in the web page. How it will find that element? It will find element with your given property and value. You have to provide one property and value. It will search with that property and value. If it is found, identifies. If it is not found, it throws exception. Find elements method. When we use find elements method, whenever you want to get collection of element, whole list collection, that collection can be counting text boxes, counting list boxes, counting radio buttons, counting number of links, lot of collections we have. So whenever you want to get collection of elements in a web page, then we are supposed to take help of find elements method. How? I'll show you it practically. These two are very, very important. Okay, now how Selenium to identify? Okay, you're asking Selenium to search element. Okay, fine. Here, yes, you're asking Selenium to search this element. How it can search that element? Suppose, say for example, I'm selecting any one of you from your batch. Please go and find my friend in SR Nagar bus stand. I'm just telling you, I'm selecting any one person and I'm telling that, please go and find my friend in SR Nagar bus stand. How you will find my friend in SR Nagar bus stand?
With some identity.
Yeah.
Using location.
Location is SR Nagar bus stand. Ma? I told location is SR Nagar bus stand. But how you find them that fellow in SR Nagar bus stand means you'll ask me, sir, tell me about
Identity.
your friend. Yeah. Tell me the properties and values of your friend. Now I'm telling my friend height is 6.5. My friend weight is 500 kilograms. My friend face color is white color. I'm describing, look at that. I'm describing about my friend to find him, right? The same way. Simply by saying find element, Selenium cannot find. With what it is to find means we have to give locators. Now we have to go with what? Locators. What is a locator? How many types of locators we have in WebDriver means there are 8 types of locators we have in WebDriver here. 8 types of locators. Locator is for what? Identifying an element in a web page. We can identify element either by ID. We can identify any element by name. We can identify element with a class name, tag name, link text, partial link text, CSS. CSS means cascade, style sheet, and XPath. Yes, we have different types of locators. It doesn't mean that we use all these locators. 99% most of the real-time code they'll be writing with CSS and XPath maximum. Okay, see any web page you take here, any web page you take, there is no element without ID and name. 99% you'll find element ID name for every element. But sometimes developer may not be defining uniquely for those. In that situation, better to go with. I'll discuss all that. So, here, what is a locator now? Locator is used for what? Identifying element in a web page. Here, see that. All of you remember, link text, partial link text. For which elements we use these two locators means all of you remember. Link text is used for locating hyperlinks in a web page. Links, you know, every web page will have links compulsory. What is the difference between link text and partial link text means? Link text, you can go with complete link name. Partial link text means no need to give complete link name. We can give some part of the link, beginning of the link. That's only different. But remember, both locators are used for what? Identifying hyperlinks in a web page, which is having HTML tag value A, anchor A. Remember all of you, every element will have HTML tags. Developer will be writing HTML tags that he will be writing like this. How he is going to write HTML means that open tag, HTML tag, attribute is equal to, he'll be defining value for that attribute. Attribute. He may define number of attributes for that. He may define number of attributes. He may use different attributes and close the tag. Attribute. What is attribute means? Attribute is nothing but locators. Okay, we have defined this attribute. ID means ID value, name value, whatever may be, right? So here, every element will start with some HTML tag. Every element will have some tags. Text box will have input tag. Hyperlinks will have anchor A tag, anchor A tag. List boxes will have select tag. Tables will have table tag. Images will have IMG tag. Buttons will have button tag. Lot of every element will have HTML tag. 100%. With that HTML tag, developer will define HTML code like this. Attribute value. Attribute value. We need to copy this attribute. None of our business. We don't define all this. Don't worry. Okay. So what I mean to say here, tag name. This locator is used for what, you know, guys? Whenever you want to identify element with HTML tag, then take help of tag name. Remaining locators, remaining ID, name, class name, CSS, XPath, used for any element, no problem. XPath for any CSS and XPath here. We can locate for text box, list box, reader button, push button, table, images, links, anything. But apart from that, they gave different locators here. Okay, so how many locators we have in WebDriver? There are 8 types of locators we have in WebDriver. Okay, na 8 types of locators. So why do you use these locators here?
To identify elements.
Yes, to identify elements in a web page. Who will identify? You or Selenium?
Selenium.
Selenium will identify them. So what to do now? How to identify element now? What is the hierarchy? Suppose I want to identify with ID. How to write hierarchy for that? WebDriver object, what you're creating, use that object. Say for example, driver dot, you want to locate specific element. You want such specific element. Find element by dot. You define ID or name or whatever. ID value. So Selenium will identify. Now, how to get this attribute? This is attribute. Attribute will have value. How do you get this value? Means we have to inspect that element and we have to copy down the value given by developer and paste here. Okay, na? So remember, all of you remember, every day, any element in a web page, hierarchy will be same. This is for searching element and this is for identifying element. So before Selenium perform any action on any element, before Selenium perform any action on any element, what Selenium has to do? You should search, you should identify. Searching, we use find element method. For identifying, we use attribute and attribute value. Means locator. We call in our language locator. Then only it can perform different actions on the elements. How? Let us see. Do you understand, all of you guys? Okay. So we use different types of locators to identify elements in a web page. The question is, people will be asking me, sir, how to search the element? How to identify elements? How to get that attribute values? Simple. To observe, all of you guys. For which element you're writing code, select that element, right click to mouse. In Chrome, I'm showing in Chrome. Anywhere, same process. Inspect. See that inspect option. It open HTML code now. So look at that. It open HTML code. See that. Right click to mouse. Right click to mouse. Inspect element. We get HTML code of that element. See that. What's the tag name given by developer for this? Look at that tag name. Input. Right? Input. What is name? What is name? Attribute. Yes or no? Attribute name. Name of the attribute. Value. Type. Attribute. Value. Maximum length. These are the properties. ID. See that. ID value. What we need to copy from this HTML page means we need to copy the ID, means the attribute values. Now you said ID. Copy this value and paste here in Eclipse when you're writing the code. Paste like this. Come and paste here. So Selenium will go to that web page, will search that element with this attribute and this value. Selenium will search that element, will find that element with this attribute and this value. Compulsory. So that's how we inspect. Now see, suppose I want inspect for username. What to do? Same. Don't click on right click. See that once it is open, you can use this arrow icon. Click this arrow icon, and which element you want, you can select that element. Look at that. I want for username text box. Click on it. It highlights. See that 99% I do. See that name ID, name ID. Even for password also we have name. What is changing here? Attributes are changing or all values are changing?
Attributes.
Attributes will change or values will change?
Values.
Values.
Values will change. Attributes will not change. Attributes will be same. There for password also we have name attribute. Even for username also name attribute. What is changing? The value is changing. The value is changing. Okay. I want for login button. What to do? Click this arrow icon. Click this arrow icon and choose which element you want. Click on that. Immediately it takes that locator value. This HTML code written by that's what see. Tags, you have to remember some tags at least. That HTML code. Writing XPath is very important here. You should be very careful. I'll discuss outright basic. Okay. So that HTML code. Any web page, remember, any web page, any HTML page, always your parent will be HTML here. It starts with parent HTML. In that HTML, we have head tag. In that head tag, we have body tag. So everything is in that body. Everything stored in that body only by default, right? In that body, in that form. It is in the form. If you open that form, in that form, see this, it's available in a form. In that form, it's having a div tag like that. We need to understand some part of HTML code also same time. Okay, that we'll see. Wait. Next, what about XPath? See, now by inspecting this way, we can get only name, ID, sometimes class. That's it. What about XPath? What about CSS selector? Links means when we go for identify links, just look at that. When I click on this customer service hyperlink. How do I know it is a hyperlink? All of you remember, any element is having anchor A, then we will consider as a hyperlink. Right? In that case, we can go for which locator we can use for locating the links. Which
Text
locator?
link.
Link text
Link.
and partial link text. These two locators are used for what? Locating link text and partial link text for both to locate any hyperlinks in a web page which are stored in anchor A, HTML tag value A. Okay, guys? Every day we go on writing, you'll get clarity. Don't worry, wait for that. Next. Okay, fine. This is fine. How to get XPath value at a time? See, I want to get all locators here. ID value, name locator, XPath, CSS selector. By inspecting, we are not getting, we are getting only some part of it, right? We're getting only some part, but I want everything, XPath, CSS selector, everything in Chrome browser. In Chrome browser. How? For that, remember all of you, we need to download an add-on for Chrome browser. Chrome browser. What that name of the add-on is? ChroPath. What is that? ChroPath. What is the purpose of ChroPath? Means ChroPath is add-on to Firefox and Chrome, both. For both, it is for add-on. It's add-on for both Chrome and Firefox. Why do we use this ChroPath? Means for inspecting any element locators. It is easy. With one click, we can get all locator values. We can get XPath, we can get CSS selectors, we can get name locators, we can get ID locators, we can get tag name, everything in with one inspect. HTML we have. HTML we have. This is HTML code. But from this HTML code, we don't get XPath. Down the line, I'll discuss what is XPath, how many types of XPath we have. Okay. How to add that add-on to your Chrome means open your Chrome browser, go to Google search. I'm telling about Chrome here now. Go to Google search. In that Google search, just type download ChroPath, ChroPath, ChroPath for Chrome, ChroPath for Chrome. The very first link you get, the very first link. Click on this link. See here, it is showing add to Chrome. Look at here. If you want to study about this ChroPath, come down. It gives explanation. ChroPath generates all possible selectors by just one click. ChroPath can be used as editor for selector. It makes easy to write, edit, extract, and evaluate XPath queries on any web page. Okay, so we can write our XPath also using this, no problem. Okay, now see here, what to do for this? First, you have to click on Add to Chrome. Click on Add to Chrome. It won't take much time. Same, again, click on Add Extension. Now you can see at the top of the browser, you can find out that. Okay, so where you can find ChroPath means that extension is available extension. Click on this. You can find it will be added. You have to restart your Chrome, then automatically no access denied here. Okay, so restart your now see, now it is added so that we can find at the top of the browser itself. Our extension ChroPath will be there. Okay, now look at here. Suppose I'm taking facebook.com. In that Facebook application, I want to locate username, password, buttons, vagara, vagara. Okay, na? Right click on this, inspect element. First open HTML page. Try to open your HTML page. This HTML here. Now look at here. Drag this. Drag like this. Now see, here we have ChroPath. Okay, 2-in-1. Remember that. Click on ChroPath. Here it shows that. It shows XPath, relative XPath, ID, name, class name, CSS selector, absolute XPath, tag name, maximum we get all of them. Maximum. Which one you want to copy? I want to copy relate XPath. Click this pencil button. Look at that. Click that. Beside that we have copy option. Copy it and paste your Eclipse. Where you're writing the code, paste it. Suppose I want for passport text box. What to do? I use this arrow icon. Click this arrow icon and keep on inspecting that element. Automatically it takes that elements, that passport, look at it. ID, name. So if you want HTML code again, what to do here? If you want to see HTML code again, what you do? Move this window again. Move this window. 2-in-1. Be careful. If you want HTML code again, inspect element. If you want ChroPath, move this window. 2-in-1. Move this window. Click on ChroPath. That's a good option we have. And one more thing. I want to write a code for this element, for this text box. How you write a code, anybody? In Selenium? You want to identify this text box. How you identify text box? See. Main method. What the first process you follow, you know, all of you, what to do. First, we have to learn. Yesterday, I told you, I don't know how many of you, did you copy all your drivers under your project here? All of you? All of you. Yesterday, I told you drivers, Chrome driver, Gcode driver. I told you to copy and paste all the drivers under your project. Have you done, all of you guys?
Yes, sir.
Huh? All of you. So that we can avoid system.set property. If you don't copy down these drivers under your project, Every time you have to write system.set property. Yesterday, which I told you. Okay. Come on. First step. What to do? Create object. What object means? Instance object. Instance object for browser class. Come on. How do you create? Come on, guys.
Web driver.
Web driver. So simple. See, what you're doing here, the very first step, what you're doing, we are overwriting what are the methods that are available in web driver interface. We are overriding those methods into your browser class. That's what you're doing now. Simple. For that, web driver.
Control space bar.
Control space bar. Use control space bar and import a package for that. What that package? Interface, right? org.open.qa selenium. Import that package. Define an object for this here. Any object driver. Driver is equal to which browser you're, which class you're overriding those methods. Define that class name. Chrome means Chrome driver. Chrome driver. Control space bar. Somebody songs mute. Chrome driver. Chrome driver. Right? See, any code you write, these two packages are commonly we use it here. Next step, yesterday, soon after launching, now it will override all the methods into that Chrome browser object called driver. After that, we need to launch URL in that browser, right? So what the method we use for that?
Driver.get.
Launch URL. So why you're using driver object here? Why you say driver here? What the reason?
To access the methods, Chrome methods.
Yeah, of course, to access methods only. But why you're saying driver object, I'm asking. Why you say driver here? Because the reason is we are overriding this interface methods into this browser class object driver. Your answer should be like that. We are overriding this interface methods into this browser class object driver. That can be driver, X, Y, Z, A, B, whatever variable is your choice. Okay. So how to access that now, man? Driver dot get method. Right? Get method, and we'll specify URL https://google.com or something. And in Chrome, especially when you write for Chrome by default opens minimize window. We need to maximize that window. That all of you know that. So for that, what we say, driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. Commonly, any code you write, this is a common code we write. Okay, na? Okay, now I want to enter this username. I want to enter this password. Means how you locate them is important. Just now I told you. First, Selenium has to search the text box and then should identify the text box. Then only it can perform some methods we have to learn. Look at these methods. What are those methods are called? Web element methods. We call them as web element commands or web element methods. So remember all of you guys, what is web element? Web element means it is a smallest possible HTML entity that help us to form a fully functional web page. Any element in a web page, whatever elements you find here, look at that. Text box, list box, reader button, push button, you'll find a lot of text elements, right? You'll find a lot of elements in this web page. Whatever elements you find in this application, we can consider them as web element. Okay, so that is a small entity. It's a small entity for maintaining your web page elements. In WebDriver terminology, it is a Java class or interface which represents object that hold reference to HTML element. So from today, we can use web element interface for as a reference object. We can store it as a reference object. We can store any element into web element. We can store any element. Element means, don't confuse. What is element here? Elements are nothing but text box, list box, read button, push button. All these are elements here. Don't confuse. Any element we can store into web element. You'll ask me immediately, why, sir? Why you want to store into web element? Why can't write directly? Yes, advantage with that is, suppose you are planning to access more than one method for one element here. More than, we want to perform more than one method. If I want to perform more than one action or more than one method on an element, if you store into web element, if you take that as reference of that web element, with help of this object, we can access number of methods. Need not locate number of times. One time locating, accessing number of methods. How? I'll show you. That's what, see. Remember all of you guys, any web application you want, these are common methods we write. Compulsory we have to use. Clear method. What is clear method here? What is the main purpose of clear method? You know very well. Where we clear? In text box. Suppose some text is already exists in this text box. Assume that some text already existing. Generally, what we do manually, we'll clear this text and then we'll input our data. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
The same way, if you want to clear the text in the text box, then take help of clear method. This is a void type. They don't, void means, what is void here? Returns nothing. Returns nothing. This method will clear the value of any text type element. It does not allow any parameters, and return type is void type. Just now I told you, we can store that into web element, or we can directly write the code like this: driver dot find element by dot so and so dot clear. Or we can store into one web element, and with help of that object, we can access that method. What advantage by storing into web element? Anybody? Why you store into web element, any element into web element as a reference object means? What I told you. What advantage we have? What I told you. See, simple answer for that is, whenever you want to access more than one method, suppose for example, I want to perform number of actions on this element here. I want to enter my text box. I want to methods. I want to perform number of actions. I want to perform 3 actions. Assume that. How many times you want to locate that element? Anybody? I want to perform 3 actions. How many times you want to locate? I want to perform 3 actions on that particular mode with all methods perform. I want to test that element with the 3 methods.
3 times.
3 times you have to locate driver dot find element, driver dot find element, driver dot find element. In that case, what I'm asking you guys, instead of locating 3 times, store that element into web element. With help of that object, we can access number of methods. That's always recommended you guys to store in that cases. Okay. Now what is user? User is a reference object for the text box which you located here. Now you can access number of method, clear method, a lot of methods we have. Not only clear method, send keys. What is send keys command? Yes, this is very important. Send keys. It's also void type. Whenever you want to send sequential characters in a text box or any value, typing value here, you're typing your username, you are typing your username with some parameters, right? We are sending a sequential characters, then go with send keys method. Without send keys, there is no code, right? We always go on sending values in text box, then take help of send keys. Yes, here also. Now suppose, say for example, assume that you want to clear the text box and then you have to send a value in the text box. What to do? Generally, I'm asking. Try to understand my question, all of you. What is my question is, I want to clear some, suppose assume that already some text is existing in the text box. I want to clear the text in the text box and then I want to send a value in the text box. How many times you want to perform?
2 times. You have to clear the text and you have to send key. Then new key.
What would in that case? What to do?
Store that in web element.
That's it. Store that element into web element. I'm storing into username. See that? The text box I'm storing one object user. User dot clear. User dot send keys. If I don't store into text web element, 2 times I want different. Driver dot find element by dot id dot clear. Again driver dot find element by dot id dot send keys. Why wasting time? Practical, I'll show you. Wait. So whenever you want to send a value, sequential characters onto element into text boxes, sometimes we use for list boxes also, via keystrokes, so via keyboard. For keyboards, send also we use this send keys, very important method. Click. What is the purpose of click? All of you know. This is only one method which is used to perform a click action on element like button clicking, checkbox clicking, links clicking, images clicking, radio buttons also, one in all in one. Remember that. Click is not only for button click here. We can click a button, we can click a link, we can click a checkbox, we can click radio button also. Radio button, what we say is we say select. No, in our language we say select, but we use click only for that also. Send keys, okay, I mean buttons clicking, image clicking. We use these 3 methods are generally we write here. These 3 methods, send keys, okay, click method, clear is not mandatory. In case if you have, we can use them, not a problem. To write WebDriver code on any element, on any elements in a web page, these methods are very important. How? Do you understand, all of you guys? Web element methods, all of you? What are web element methods we have? What the web element? Clear?
Send the keys.
Send keys.
And
Click.
Click method. Okay, na? Now let us write down one sample code on your Primus Bank login code. Then you get clarity. From now we have to start writing the code. Now I want to launch Chrome browser, not me, Selenium. I want to launch my Chrome browser and I want to enter my URL and enter my username, enter my password, and then click on login button and then close my browser. Already we did up to here, we did already browser launched and also your URL also. Remember, all of you guys, when writing code on against application, all of you in automation, please try to open your application. Don't write manually. Some people have that habit. No, it's not manual testing. Remember that. Whenever you want to write any code, first open your application and then looking that we have to write the scripts. Okay, na? I want to enter username. Come on. What I told you. What Selenium has to do? First, it has to search this username text box. It has to identify this text box. And then we need to enter a value in the text box. What method we use? Come on, you tell me how the hierarchy to be followed. First
we have to find an element.
So start with driver dot find element. Look at that. Find element, find elements. Find elements we use only when we go with collection of elements, list collection. Find element we use only for web element. Okay, web element, single element, specific element. Find element with what you want to find.
By ID.
Yes, you can say by dot. It shows what are 2 locators: ID, class name, link text, name, parse link text, tag name, XPath, CSS selector. So these are 8 types of locators. We can choose any of this. Before writing, first come and check the possibilities what it has. Right click on this element, inspect element, check the possibilities it has with what we can identify. 90% will have ID, I know that. You can come and click row path. So that we can identify with the relay text path, ID, name, and also CSS selector, absolute text path. See, what is 1, 1, what is 12, what is 9? There are 12 elements with this class name. There are 9 elements with this tag name. That means there are 9 elements we having input tag. That number is giving. So don't take double tap number. 1, 1 is very important. There is no other element with this meaning. 1, 1 means there is no other element with this property and value meaning. Now you can choose anyone with what you want. You want to identify with ID? You tell me.
Yes, ID.
Then edit this. Click on this. Copy this. Come here. Say here by dot ID. What that ID value? Paste that ID value. What do you want? What do you want after that? Selenium will search that element with this username, with this property and value. After that, what do you want? You want to send a value in that. What's the method we use? Dot send keys.
Send keys.
Now send your username. My username is admin. Simple. Next, enter password. Driver dot, again same hierarchy. Driver dot find element, again by dot. I want to identify passport text box with the name locator. Define, no problem. Name, I want with the name. Name, double quotation, come to your project. Now click this arrow icon and click on this passport text box. Now it locates for that name. Edit this name, copy this value, come and paste here. This, please don't type manually. Okay, all of you guys. These are not our required. They're developer given values. These are tested data. We can type our own value. Dot, again, what do you want? Dot send keys. So again, my password is also admin. And finally, what do you want? Click on login button. Click on login button. Same again. Driver dot find element by dot. I want again name locator, name value. What do you want? What is the method we use? First get that locator for this arrow icon. Click this login button. Name, right? See, edit this, copy this, and paste here. Dot. What is the method we use here? Dot.
Click.
Method. Click. Remember, all of you, we can click button in 3 ways. We can click button. I am talking about button. We can click a button 3 ways. One already we know, click, right? Not only click, we can write one more. Don't write all at a time, okay? I'm showing you here. We can comment, which you don't want, we can comment. Okay? Dot submit also we can use. Method submit method also we can use. Only for button clicking. One submit. One more is dot send keys. Via send keys also, via keyboard. Send keys means always via keyboard. In keyboard, generally, when you enter username and password, what we do generally here, manually, generally, when you are logging to your Facebook anywhere, what you do? After entering username and password, you'll click on
enter button.
Enter button. Via,
key.
yeah, enter key in keyboard. So here I'm asking Selenium to click keys dot, enter. K should be capital, keys dot enter. So we can click a button. If anyone asking you how many ways we can click a button, means 3 ways. One is click, one is submit, and one is keys dot enter. But don't write 3 statements at a time. I'm showing you, okay? Do you understand, all of you guys? Okay, na? And finally, I want to close my browser after login. What to do?
Driver
Quit
dot
method.
quit.
Driver dot either close or quit.
Close.
No problem.
Quit.
Now let me run this. See how fast. If it is not identifying any of that element, immediately it keeps on throwing exception to you. If you're given right locators and right attributes and values, 100% Selenium has to identify that. See, it's going very fast. I want to suspend my tool. I want to observe very clearly because I'm learning first time, sir. It's going very fast. I can't bear with Selenium. I want to observe clearly. Then how do you suspend your tool from execution? Soon after launching my URL and maximizing, I want to suspend tool for 5 seconds. It's up to you. You can define number of, but I want 5 seconds. When it comes to this particular point, Selenium should go for sleep mode. Means it should become inactive. It should not execute remaining line for 5 seconds. So from today, we use thread dot sleep. What is that? Thread dot sleep. So here we should define milliseconds. I want 5 seconds. Means how many milliseconds I should define? 5,000 milliseconds. Convert to seconds, 5 seconds. So not only here, after clicking from today, keep on using thread.sleep, no restriction. Why? Because sometimes your application will be very slow. We can control with thread.sleep, remember, but real time we don't allow you. How to overcome, I'll tell you. So what is thread.sleep means? It is a fixed waiting time between tool and your application. How much time you define here, Selenium will get suspended for that milliseconds until your given time elapses. After completion of 5 seconds, then only it starts executing remaining lines of code. So see that when I'm using thread.sleep, it's throwing exception. Look at that arrow into mark. So compulsory we have to add exception for it. Don't worry. Mouse over here. See, mouse over and take the mouse on that line. Add throws declaration. Select this. Add throws declaration. And here, see, it adds to main method by default. It adds to your main method. By default, select throwable. No need to go with interrupted exception. These are all superclass. Directly use superclass. Throwable. What is throwable? Throwable is a superclass which can handle any type of Java errors, any type of exceptions we get in Selenium. 100%. Whenever we use thread.sleep, compulsory we should add the superclass. Or you can add manually also. No problems. Look at that. Main method. See that. It will throw exceptions for both. Manually you can add. See, type this. Throws. Control space bar. Simply. Throws. Throwable. Control space bar. Add it. Manually you can add. No problem. Throws. Throwable. So, throwable. What is throwable here? It is a superclass of all exceptions. Which can handle any type of errors, any type of exceptions we get in Java language. Okay, any path you provide, anything, compulsory we go on using this throwable maximum. Using throws is a keyword and throwable is a class. I'm saying, look at that. Throws is a keyword, throwable is a class which contains number of methods which can handle any type of errors, any type of exceptions we get in execution time. Now it can go very slowly. Somewhat means it will suspend tool so that you can observe. And I assume that when you're writing some script against application, sometimes your application will take some time here, loading time, a lot of issues we come across. So that after maximizing, it won't enter immediately. We are asked to wait for 5 seconds. It will wait for 5 seconds. Then it will enter username and password. And before going to close, before it's closing very fast, again it's waiting for 5 seconds and close. It makes sense to us. Even if your application is taking time to load, see, Selenium will never wait even 1 second. Remember that. If you don't give right locator, even see, for example, suppose you're not given right locator. Immediately look at that. No way, it will do exception to you immediately. It will wait for 5 seconds and it immediately throws exceptions. Don't, yesterday I told you, don't bother about all these lines. Always look at, see that. Always look at the see. No such element exception. Why? What the reason? No such element exception. Unable to locate element with selector. What that we selected there? So and so. It's not identified. That means whatever you provided this one, Selenium is searching in runtime. Yes or no? This value on available value not matching, immediate throwing exception. How do you know which line we have error? How do you know which line you have error? How do you know in which line we have that problem? How do you know? Yeah. Yesterday I told you. What I told you?
Last.
If you go to bottom of the page, then you can find the
See, your
line.
class name, your Java line number. So click on this, it takes to directly that line number. When you write some number of lines of code, you get confusion where you did mistake. That's very clear. Okay. So what mistake we did here? We have gotten wrong locator. That's what. Don't type these locators manually, please. While practicing, this is not to be typed. You have to inspect them. Okay. And this is our data. We can type our own data. Positive name. We'll see a lot of things here. Wait. Now it starts. We go with different things here. So that is the main purpose of throwable. From today, we use throwable class also. What is throwable again? You can mouse over here for learning them. See, mouse over here. It shows the throwable class is a super class of all errors and exceptions in Java language. Enough. And don't go all this. It can handle any type of exception. It can handle any type of errors we get in Java. Okay. Whenever we use thread.sleep, compulsory we have to use. Otherwise, see that it will be throwing exception to you. It will. Don't run. See, if you run forcibly also, if you proceed forcibly, it throws like this exception. Interrupted exception. See, you're interrupting here, right? You're interrupting Selenium tool for 5 seconds. How does Selenium know that you're interrupting here? You want handle that exception. Handle means, and how to write that keyword? Throws, control space bar, throws, class, super class is throwable, control space bar, everything. Keep on typing fast, that's it. So easily we can access the values. No, sir, I don't want to type even this also up to here. Up to here, I don't want to keep on typing. How to copy this also? This how to type compulsory. I don't want to type all this. When I copy, when I type manually, I'll do some mistakes. I know, sir. I want to overcome that problem. See that very good option they gave you. Remember one thing, all of you guys. This is a browser opened by Selenium. Don't try to inspect elements which are opened by Selenium. Okay? You close it. You open manually and inspect elements. Okay? Manually you have to inspect. Suppose I want line of code for this driver.find element with ID or export, whatever maybe. How do you get that line? I want to copy that so that from here only I can copy and directly paste to my Eclipse. That fundamental also available here. For that, observe here. Inspect this element, username text box. All of you observe carefully. Look here. Here we have set driver command to append on selector. Option is available. Set driver command to append on selectors. Click on that. Okay. You just click on it. Automatically, see, your code is written. Lucky. I want to locate ID, edit this, copy this, paste here directly. That's what we typed manually. Yes or no? This is what we typed manually. So from today, that's a good option given to you. You want anything you can copy, but always we have to click on this. Next, for password also. For password text box also. If one for password text box, we get. For login button also. Click on this login button. We get the code as written already. Copy with what you want to locate. Copy that simply. If you don't want this, then click on it again. It go back again normal position. If you want to set driver command for that, then click on it beside that. So easy way to write the code. We have to make the process very fast. Okay, na? That flexibility also will see. Click open Chroma Studio. Don't worry about Studio 11 awesome. Smart maintenance. Okay, don't worry about all this. I want go back again to normal. Click on this again. It will go back to normal again. So we can copy this way. We have to keep on writing code here from today. If you feel any difficulty in identifying element, use that best option. Use that. Selenium itself will give that driver command to you. Why you worry? It won't do any mistakes for you. Okay, na? That way we'll write the code. Don't worry from today. Just practice. Keep on basic code, all of you. Go on writing basic code first. Then we'll start writing validation point of all that one by one. Okay, na? Do you understand all of you guys? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And one announcement to all of you guys. It's only who are interested only. By tomorrow at 5 o'clock Indian time 5 p.m. Indian time 5 p.m. I'm going to start one live project session. Live project means we are going to provide you one project and we are discussing manual plus automation in that session. Excuse me. Who are interested? If anyone is interested to learn project, we'll hand out that project to you and we'll write test case in that. We are providing you one domain for you, ERP domain. This is a project we are going to use in our project for manual testing and automation testing. Okay, this project, stock accounting ERP domain. And who are interested? Okay, you can communicate to Narendra regarding the fee structure and all that. Okay, so you can learn that project also. Complete testing project will be done. Okay, by tomorrow at 5 p.m. Indian time 5 p.m.
Sir, in this class also we'll be learning a project, no? What we are doing now?
No, this is other subject. We don't go with that project here in this class sessions.
Okay, we'll not be doing this stock accounting project in this class.
You, Avinash, you joined for this, right?
Yes, sir.
You will join for that. We'll assign to you, not for you. It's not for you. Don't worry. Rest of you guys who are interested, okay, you can register with Narendra tomorrow. By tomorrow. Okay, guys?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
And is it a continuous class?
Yeah, continuous.
Okay.
Continuous. 5 to 6:30 we'll have. And after that, we have 6:30 to our Selenium class. Don't worry. First, we'll go with manual. Then we'll go with Selenium. Anyway, we are in still in the lack manual Selenium. Once we complete manual there, we'll complete Selenium here also. Don't worry. Okay, na?
Oh.
Okay. See you guys.